how to make this cute bag charm together. Um, it's a cute bag charm, and I had made it in two different colors. I had made it for my friends for my school reunion, so I just thought it would be a wonderful idea to crochet this together. So, again, I would like to welcome you all to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, then I would request you to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. There are many videos like this. In my previous life, I had made this beautiful um, four-leaf clover keychains, and you can even make it as a charm or a gift item. So if you want to learn how to make this, it's in my previous life. So you can go and check it there. So within few minutes, we'll start to make this. I'll just wait for some time for people to join in. And I'll also show you how to, straighten this thing or block this thing. As you can see, it's a little out of shape because it's been a while I have made this. So it's not looking that, flat and presentable. So I'll just show you how to do that. So I use a steam iron to do this, or you can do some other blocking methods as well. Like you can just, wet this and just place it on a flat surface. If you have a foam board, you can keep it on a foam, wet on the foam board and just pin them, just put some those office pins or the press pins and let it dry. So it'll become, it'll take its shape. Okay, so just give me a minute and then we'll start. Okay. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to block this first. So I'm going to use a steam iron for this. So I'll just on it. So these charms I had made on my way to the reunion. Like it was a long train journey. So I made these kind of. There's a short for this also, like when I gave this gift to my school friends. So you can check it in my shorts, YouTube shorts section. So steam iron is almost hot. Okay, fine. So what I'm just going to do is I don't have my foam pad ready, so I'll just use this and we're just going to steam it. You have to be very careful while using your steam iron because if your skin comes in contact with it, it burns a lot. Your skin gets burnt. So be very careful if you're using a steam iron. Okay. You can just see how they've regained their shape. They are flat, and we can just give it a shape and leave them to dry. Okay. So this is the way you can just give them a shape by using a steam iron or adapting some other blocking method. So you can see how beautiful this thing has become after steaming them. So now let's learn how to make this. So first I'm going to make it with one single color. On this I had used multicolor yarn. So I'm going to show you how to crochet this in a single color, and then we'll learn how to change color. Okay, so let's get started. So for a single color, um, let me see, which one should we use? Okay, I'll use a pink color. So the materials which we are going to need is, of course, a hook. So I'm using a 4 millimeter crochet hook. You can go for any size which suits your um, yarn type. Or I think so for this particular one, I'm going to use a 3 millimeter. Okay. So we're going to start by making a magic ring. Hello, Chrisley Ribeiro, and hello, Eve Goody, and Melissa. Hi. Oh, thank you so much, Eve Goody. You love that color. So, but unfortunately, I ran out of this color, so I'm going to use a pink one. And then we are just going to make a flower as a, a daisy. We're just going to crochet a daisy back jam. So we'll be using either this or this one and a white yarn. So first I'm going to show you how to crochet this in one single color. So we're just going to make a magic circle or a magic ring like this. And then we're going to chain one and then make 10 single crochets into this ring. So I'm just going to start by making 10 single crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So if you're a new crocheter, then you can always go ahead and mark your first stitch. When you make your first single crochet, you can mark it. But I usually don't need it up. If it's not amigurumi, I just, I can recognize which stitch is my first stitch. So I don't use stitch markers, but you can very well do so. Okay, so now we are going to close our circle. So you can just pull the tail to close it like this. You don't need to pull it too tight because when we crochet the center hole will become bigger, so we can pull it later. So this is my first stitch. So if you're confused which is your first stitch, since we have chained one also, so you can just count backwards. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So this is the stitch in which we are going to make a slip stitch to close this round or finish this round. So just insert your hook into this, yarn over, pull up a loop and pass it through the working loop like this. Okay. So now if you want, you can just pull it or you can just do that later. And now we are just going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And now I'll just show you how we are going to make this. So we are going to chain 3 and make a double treble crochet. So for a, sorry, not a treble crochet, US term. So usually we chain 4 for a treble crochet, but I just go with one number low because it doesn't make that much difference and it, matches the height of the treble crochet if we chain 3. So chain 3, one treble crochet the same stitch and then next one in the next stitch, and then chain 3 and slip stitch. So that's how we are going to do this. So I've made my 3 chains, and now for a treble crochet we're going to yarn over twice, insert into the same stitch from where we have where we made the slip stitch, pull up a loop. We have 4 loops on a hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Then again we are gonna yarn over twice, and now we are going into the next stitch, this one. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And now we are gonna 1, 2, 3, make 3 chains and then slip stitch into the same stitch. So this one, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and pass it through the working loop. So you can see here our first petal is ready, and now we're just gonna chain 1, 2, and 3, and then yarn over twice. I think I need to, no, it's okay, we'll just try this one. Either you can slip stitch into the next stitch and then make your chain 3, or you can directly make it also, because in this I haven't done that. So in this after my slip stitch of the first petal finishing, I've directly went for the next one, so we're just going to do that. So yarn over twice and make your treble crochet in the next stitch. So like this. I hope I'm doing it right, because this flower charm I had made long back, so I don't remember. Maybe, yeah, but I think so it's done. So, oops, what am I doing? Or you know what? Let's not complicate things. After this slip stitch, I'm just going to make a slip stitch into the next one. Yeah. And then make my 3 chains, and now a treble crochet into that same stitch. Yes. And then again, next treble crochet I'm going to make in the next stitch, like this. And now we made 3 chains over here, so we're going to finish this with 3 chains. So 1, 2, and 3. And now you can just go into the same stitch and make a slip stitch like this. So our 2 petals are done. Now you can just go to the next stitch and make your slip stitch again, like this. Now chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now treble crochet into that same stitch, like this. Then again treble crochet into the next stitch. So for one petal we are using 2 of the 2 stitches of the previous round. The second treble crochet, sorry, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And now we are going to make a slip stitch in the same stitch where we made a second treble crochet. So here. So one petal consists of chain 3. Like in the first stitch, there will be chain 3 and 1 treble crochet. Then in the next stitch, 1 treble crochet and chain stitch. Chain 3. So we've finished our petal here. So let's slip stitch into the next stitch. and chain 3. Now treble crochet into that same stitch. So if you guys are new to my channel, then do consider subscribing. You'll find many good tutorials like this. And as I told you earlier, in my previous life, I had made this beautiful 4-leaf clover keychain. So you can use it as a charm with a loop, you know, made in this, or you can use it as a keychain. So you can just check out my channel, and if you like it, then do consider subscribing. Okay, so we've one part of the petal we have finished. So treble crochet into the next stitch, chain 3, and slip stitch into that same stitch to finish our petal like this. Slip stitch again into the next stitch, and now chain 3, and treble crochet into that same stitch. Now treble crochet into the next stitch. So where are you guys from? You can just let me know. I'd love to know that. And if you guys crochet, it will be wonderful to hear from you. 1, 2, 3. So after the treble crochet, 3 chains and finish this last petal with the slip stitch in the same stitch like this. So our flower is done. So now what we're going to do is we'll just slip stitch here in the first chain 3 which we made. So you can see after this here. So we're just going to slip stitch into that. And now we're going to make this loop. So to make the loop, we're just going to chain maybe 20 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we've made our 20 chains. So make sure that they don't, twist and all. So let the chains be straight. And now we're just going to make a slip stitch into that same stitch where we made our slip stitch. So just insert your hook into that first stitch and make a slip stitch like this. And then you can just make 1 chain, and then we're just going to cut the yarn and pull it out of the working loop or the hook and just make it tight. And as I told you that the center hole or the magic ring will get bigger when we are working, so we can pull it for later. Mm, Guadalupe Serrano. Hello. Nice to see you in my chat section. So now we're just going to weave in the ends. So let me see. Yeah. So we're just going to use my darning needle or a tapestry needle. So we just go to the wrong side, and the the recent one, the yarn tail which we did after finishing the loop, first we are going to hide that one. I'm sorry guys if I'm not able to read your name properly. If I'm butchering your names, then do forgive me. So now we're just gonna, this is the wrong side, and this you can see is the right side. So just pass it through some of the stitches like this. The center yarn will be hiding later after pulling the closing that circle. So I think this much is enough. So just to be extra secure, we're just going to leave this one loop and go backwards like this. Few stitches are enough. You don't need to pull it tight, just let it go in. And now you can just cut it off. And now for the center, the magic circle, we're just going to pull this and make it tighter, or we just close the circle like this. And now I'm going to weave this one in. So just go through. Now this tail is coming from this side, so we are going for the opposite direction. So these many stitches are enough. I'll just go through one or two more. And then we're going to leave the first loop and go backwards like this. And now we can just cut this yarn, and our beautiful back charm is ready. So you can, as I told you at the beginning of my life, you can just, you know, block it with steam ironing it or some other, you can just wet it and let it dry. So our first back charm is done. Now we are going to make it as a daisy flower. So I'm going to use yellow color, some scrap yarn is there, and I'm going to use my white color. Okay. So I hope I find the opening. Which one? Let's not use this. I'll use this one. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing, but we are changing colors now. So we're going to use, as this is a little thicker yarn, I'm going to use my 4mm hook. So make your magic circle, chain one. And now I'm going to make 10 single crochets into this ring, and make sure that you cover both the tail and your loop. Sorry. So at this point, if you want, you can add a stitch marker over here if you can't recognize your first stitch. So we've made our first single crochet. So we are making total of 10. So 2, 3, 4. So if you have joined me in the middle of my live and you do want to know it how to make this from the beginning, then you can just watch the recording of the live. So we've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops. 9 and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we made our 10 single crochets. Now we can just close our magic circle. So just pull this tail and the circle will get closed like this. And now we're just going to make one slip stitch into that very first chain. If you don't know, you can just count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that is your first stitch. So insert your hook into that, pull up a loop, and pass it through the working loop. So our circle is closed, and here you can just chain one and cut the yarn because we are going to use next color. Okay, so here this is done, so I'll just keep it aside. Now we're going to use a white color yarn. You can use any yarn of your choice. So to join a color, the second color, uh, at this point, if you want, you can just weave this yarn tail in if you want. I'm just going to weave it, you know, along with my work. So hold your second color like this. Okay. And then you can go into the same stitch where you made your slip stitch. Actually, you can go in any of the stitches, doesn't matter. So insert your hook into that stitch, grab your second color, pull it up. You can drop the tail and make your chain. So I'm gonna make 3 chains. So this is not considered as a chain. Now one, wow, okay, 1, 2, and 3. So we've made a 3 chains. Here we can just, pull this to little bit to tighten it. And now we're going to do the same thing what we did in this flower. So we are going to make 1 treble crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over twice, and here if you want you can just hold these 2 tails, the tails which are from here, not the center tail. These 2 tails, center tail you can just leave it like that, the magic circle tail, and you can just hold your work along, hold the tail along with your work. So now we are going to make 1 treble crochet into this same stitch where we joined our second color. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now again yarn over twice. Now we are going to the next stitch. So insert your hook. So I'm carrying this these 2 tails along with it. Pull up a loop, make your treble crochet. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now chain 3. So we start with a chain 3 for a petal and we end with a chain 3. So here's our 3 chains. Now make a slip stitch into that same stitch. So insert your hook and here. So our first petal is done. Now you can just make a slip stitch into the next stitch and start your new petal like this. Now chain 3, yarn over twice, insert it into the same stitch where you made your slip stitch for this new petal and make your treble crochet. Hi guys, the people who've just joined me. This is Nalini here. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then do consider subscribing. And if you find my tutorials, live sessions helpful, then do like, comment, and share it with your friends. And save it for later if you want to learn how to make this. So we've made a second treble crochet in the next stitch, chain 3, and make a slip stitch into that same stitch here, like this. So our second petal is also done. Now make a slip stitch into the next stitch, which is this one, like this, chain 3, sometimes our yarn gives us a little trouble in a center pull. So we've chained 3, so one treble crochet into the same stitch where we made a chain, 3 chains. Hold this work along with your hold the tail along with your work and make your treble crochet like this. Then next treble crochet goes to the next stitch. So in one stitch we are making chain 3 and one treble crochet. In the next stitch we are making one treble crochet and chain 3. So chain 3 and make a slip stitch into that same stitch like this. At this point, if you want, you can just cut these 2 yarn tails off. We are not cutting this one, we are going to hide it inside. So this as in the magic rings tail. So now we have finished this petal and slip stitch into the next stitch and chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. Now one treble crochet in the same stitch, one treble crochet in the next stitch, and again chain 3 and one slip stitch into that same stitch like this. And one more petal is remaining, so slip stitch into your next stitch like this and chain 3, treble crochet into that same stitch, treble crochet into the next stitch, and chain 3 and slip stitch into that same stitch. So we've almost finished our flower. Now we're just going to make the loop. So slip stitch into this stitch over here, this gap over here, like this. And now you can go ahead and make 20 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Official Sangeeta Cooking 9560. Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. So after making a 20 chains, make sure that they're not twisted. Keep them straight, and we are going to slip stitch into that same stitch. So insert your hook into that same stitch and make your slip stitch. Now you can just chain one and cut the yarn and just pull this loop out and tighten it like this. So our flower charm is ready, and now I'm just going to weave this yarn tail inside, and then we are going to finally work with the magic rings yarn tail. So here's a tapestry needle. Let's keep that aesthetic look over here. I'm very bad at these things. Again, for the people who've come joined us later, in my previous life, I have made this beautiful four-leaf clover keychain. So if you want, you can just check out my channel and check this tutorial, the live tutorial, if you want to make this. Do subscribe to my channel, guys, and support me. I'll keep posting beautiful, crochet alongs like this. And you can also let me know if you want to learn something small, not like a sweater or something, but because to make those things in a live is a little difficult because it's quite time-taking process. So we'll just go through some stitches in the wrong side. Now this is the right side. This is the wrong side. You can make it out how it is. So we've inserted or, you know, passed it through these loops. So leave the first loop and go backwards to make it extra secure like this. And just cut it out. And now for this magic circus loop, as you can see, the circle has become bigger. So just pull this nice and tight, and the circle will get closed like this. And now from the back side, you can weave this one inside also. So we're just gonna go in the opposite direction. Don't pull it too hard, and then go back. Leave one loop and go for the other loops just to make it a little more secure. Uh, like this. Don't no need pulling it too hard that you might spoil the shape of your flower. Okay. So our flower charm is done. Um, Epiatora. Hello. Sorry if I butchered your name. So we've made two back charms like these. So you can just, block it to give it more shape. And I also had one thing in mind. I have this, uh, y- you know, I just joined all my scrap yarn and, yarn tails and made this as a, ball and kept to make something. So I was just thinking, uh, I'll try this with this also. What do you guys think? Should I make it? Let's see how it looks like. So these two are done. We're just going to see how this one looks like. It might be a challenge because these things will come in a way, the knots. But let's see how it goes. So again, the same thing. Magic circle, chain one, 10 single crochets into that circle. So we are including both the tail as well as the loop. So one single crochet done, two, three, four, five. What do you guys think? Will it look beautiful? Six, seven, eight, nine, and 10. So 10 single crochets are done. Now we'll just close the circle nice and tight. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So in your first stitch, just make your oops. Okay. Slip stitch. Now 1, 2, 3. What do you guys think? Will it be a disaster or will it look beautiful? Put in the comment section. So treble crochet in the same stitch, 2 and 3, yarn over twice and go into the next stitch, make a treble crochet, chain 3, slip stitch into that same stitch. Our first petal is done. Now we're going into the next stitch and making a slip stitch. Now we are starting our next petal. So I'm using this all leftover yarns which I had just tied them and made it as one. So I'm just going to use it and we'll see how the flower turns up to be, whether it's a disaster or it's beautiful. So 1, 2, and 3. 3 chains. Now one treble crochet into that same stitch where we made our slip stitch and 3 chains. Another one in the next one. And chain 3 and slip stitch into that same stitch where you made your second treble crochet. Now slip stitch into the next stitch to start your new petal, chain 3. Wow, black color. I don't know how this is gonna look. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, sorry. Am I right? Yeah. I just taken aback with the black yarn in the middle. So make your treble crochet in the next stitch and chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and make a slip stitch into that same stitch. Can you hear a horn outside in my background? That's a fish seller who's come to sell fish in front of our fish in front of our building. So chain 3 and a treble crochet into that same stitch. Oh, no. We forgot to make a slip stitch into the next stitch. And now chain 3. then treble crochet in that same stitch, treble crochet in the next stitch, chain 3, one, two, three, and slip stitch into that same stitch where we made our second treble crochet. Gracie Navoj. I can't read your name properly, but hello, welcome to my channel. So chain 3, yarn over twice, and oh, again I did the same mistake. Slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 3, yarn over twice, make your treble crochet in the same stitch. Then in the next stitch, when this is the last stitch for a flower, make your treble crochet and chain 3, and then slip stitch into that same stitch. And our flower is almost done, and it's not looking that great. Maybe, what do you guys think? It's just an experiment which I'm doing with my scrap yarn. Maybe I should have covered it with this color. So we have made a slip stitch into the next stitch, and now we are making the loop. So to make this loop, we are going to chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we've made a 20 chains. Now we are going to make a slip stitch into that same stitch where we made this slip stitch and started a loop. So make your slip stitch. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. And pull it out. Oops. Yeah, make it tight. And now I think I'll have to cut this, otherwise it will be difficult to sew it in. Now I'm just going to hide this first. Leave your center magic circle tail. I'll quickly hide this. So the people who have joined while I was making this flower, and if you find this flower hideous, it's just an experiment which I'm doing. Don't worry. The flower turns out beautiful like this. This is I've made from a scrap yarn just to see how it looks like. So please bear with me. I just wanted to test it out. And now the center magic circle's tail, you can just pull it. If the center, magic circle hole has become bigger, then you can just pull it, close that loop, the circle, and weave that tail in. You can go like this. Hmm. What do you think, guys? I think this is a little off-putting, the black color in my scrap yarn. But still, I think if you have, good combinations in your, you know, scrap yarn collection, then it will turn up good. So, because you see, a multicolor flower also looks beautiful. But since there's just a leftover scrap yarn, so they're all mixed colors. But still, it was a fun thing to do. So here is it, it is. Here it is, guys. Our tutorial for. I'm gonna keep this out. For these beautiful back charms is done. I hope my live crochet along was helpful for you. So do consider subscribing, like, comment, and share with your friends, and you can save it for later if you want plan to make this beautiful back charms. And for tutorials like these and other things, you can find it on my channel. So do give my channel a watch and help me out. And yeah, until our next crochet along, bye bye. Love you guys.